Coming up on the Woman Agenda podcast with Raj, the sensation, live from Canada, the South Asian singer Sangeeta Melody. Coming up in the next few minutes. Stay tuned. So, yes, we have a very, very special guest today from Canada, and our first guest from Canada, and also uh, a very, I don't know, I mean, there's not many words to say here, there's loads of words to say, to be honest, and she's very, very talented singer. You can you can include actor, actress there. There's lots of performer, lots of stuff, and we'll try to talk about a little bit about that as well, if we can. Sangeeta Melody, known as how are you today, Sangeeta?
Hi, Raj. Oh, I'm doing so good. Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited to be on here. This is actually my first official
Really?
podcast interview.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So I'm very honored
What's
to be on your show today.
what's been happening? There's a big question mark there. Why the first podcast, and what's happened to these podcasts? What they're doing? Because you know, uh, there's so much talent there, and
Yeah.
to be honest, you see, and I'm not just saying this because I've got you on and we've spoken, but every time I see someone who is Indian origin and they're doing really well in music or these kind of areas. Obviously, it feels very, very proud. It's a proud. I feel really proud myself when I see that. It's such a because it's great. Because obviously we all have families back home back from India and places, and when we've obviously came from the UK or abroad, and then you get where you want to get to, and it's like a dream, and you see people doing that, and it's really good. It's a great feeling to see that happening. And obviously, like we discussed yesterday, you were originally, so there is some British in you as well, actually.
Yeah, that's right. I was born in London, in North
Yeah.
London. Yeah, my parents moved to London when they were children
Wow.
themselves from India, and that's where they met. And then, my brother and I came along, and yes, I've always had this music passion in me. It's always been instilled in me since I was very young. But yes, I am. From London, we moved to a place called Surrey, and I was telling you yesterday. Yes, we used to live in a small town, just in Surrey. In Finley, actually, is where we used to live. So I didn't move to Canada until I was about 13 with my family. And yeah, so it is awesome just to see that you are promoting more South Asian talent as well. So I think that is
Yeah,
important to represent that.
yeah. I mean, when we started the podcast, when I started the podcast, I think about 21, can't remember the date now, but 20, around 21. Um, at that time, the aim was just to, get guests on, and there wasn't any, uh, okay, we'll get some Indian artists on, Origin and stuff. But I was like, okay, let's get some guests on, get some authors on,
Mm,
start from scratch first.
yeah,
And then once I've been there for a couple of years, then okay, then there's a bit of a base then. And then obviously then I can start bringing on, uh, Indian female talent, and ones who are doing, who've started the journey in
yeah,
music, in acting as well. But obviously in acting, it's a little bit tricky to bring them on because they have agents and stuff, so it's not that easy. It's not an easy thing.
for sure.
But I'm trying, see if I can succeed.
You're doing an awesome job. And I was going to say, so am I the first South Asian woman on your show?
Yes, the first South Asian women on my show, yeah.
That's
Um,
awesome. Well, I'm honored. That's fantastic.
yeah. Uh, well, I tried recently, and sent some messages and stuff, and contact and stuff, and thought, yeah, and if I can't bring some on, and they can tell their story their way, and it would be really good, because obviously, like I said, it's great to see, you know um, our own origin, even though we're British, obviously our own Indian origin, doing really well in music in these areas, and bringing them on so they can tell their story and stuff. It's great, and obviously with an additional platform, it's always good to spread the word, and a few people who even
Absolutely.
don't know you, they know you as well. So that's, I think,
Absolutely.
is great, both ways on there. Obviously, let's just put your website as well on there, which this is your official website,
Okay.
Sangeeta.ca, which when I listen to your track, that's where I listen to it on your website,
Okay.
uh, your official website,
Yeah.
which is very, very detailed. It's nice. It's a nice website. It's lots of information
Yes.
on there, and people can purchase your music as well on there. Uh, so you've said on the website you've always been into music,
Mhm.
music. So how small were you when you started uh, the influence on music?
I have many, many vivid memories when I was tiny, tiny. I mean, I really got into singing and started taking it, you could say, seriously as you could as a kid. I was 10. But even before that, I was always singing and dancing around the house. And I remember my brother would always play Michael Jackson. So I got into
Wow.
that. I was exposed to that quite early. Janet Jackson. We
Yeah.
used to sit there and, even still now, we love to go back and listen to MJ and watch his music videos. So that's
Yeah.
always been a huge influence. But yeah, ever since I can remember, I've always been a little girl that would just, as soon as the music turned on, I would just have this kind of instinct to get up and dance and move and make up my own little lyrics on the go. So yes, music has always been something that me and my family have always loved, and um, my mum and dad have always encouraged that creativity in me, and they've always been super supportive. But it wasn't until I actually turned on the TV to watch Top of the Pops. I don't know. Do you remember Top of the Pops, the TV show?
Yeah, no, I'll probably be showing my age now by saying yes, I do.
It's
But,
okay. You're still
um, yeah, I remember even my mom, right? She was so. I think my mom was into it more than me, to be honest, at one point.
okay.
And she was so into Top of the Pops, and we used to like. it used to be like a family thing. It's like like we all used to watch it, and
Yes.
every week it used to come on. I think BBC Two, if I'm not wrong. I
Yeah,
think,
so that
yeah,
yeah, that show has so many memories for me because that was the
yeah,
first time I actually saw the Spice Girls perform, and that's when I
yeah,
was 10, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's a girl band on the TV." I had never seen a girl band
yeah,
like that before. They were like pioneers for that, really, because the music industry was so male driven with all the boy bands and even the male artists in general. But seeing the Spice Girls was very inspirational for me. And I turned to my mum and I said, "Mum, I want to be a Spice Girl. I want to be a singer." And, um, yeah, so ever since then, I grabbed, my first album, which was "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls, or Spice World rather. It was the first Spice Girls album anyway. I probably got the name wrong, but "Wannabe" was the first song I really got into, and I memorized every song on that album, and I heard it back to back, and I realized I really loved singing, and from there on, yeah, it was just something that I loved to do. All the other kids would be outside playing, and I just wanted to be in my room and listening to music and practicing my singing, and that was my happy place. And it's always been, to be honest with you.
yeah. Absolutely, and definitely, they were a massive role model. Now you mentioned obviously MJ. I grew up myself listening to MJ, and I think um, MJ and obviously Janet. I used to listen to the music a lot, and obviously watching that MJ film as well, which he came in. I think it was Moonwalk.
Yes.
Uh,
Moonwalker.
I think it was Moonwalker. So yeah, I think definitely. I mean, if it's pop, I think no matter who comes, MJ's always been number one. I think he'd always remain number one. To be honest,
Absolutely. Yeah.
uh,
No one's
and
missing
yeah, I don't think anybody can get to number one. Number one, be the king of pop like him. Uh,
Absolutely.
to be
Totally.
honest, and yeah, and Spice Girls, yeah, definitely. Even I was into Spice Girls at one point.
Were
Um,
you?
yeah,
That's
because I
so
don't know, it's their influence, and I think they had this thing about them where it wasn't just a girl thing where girls were listening to Spice Girls. It's like they were managed to control where both genders were listening to them,
yes. Right.
because they had that kind of thing about them, that kind
Absolutely.
of. So yeah, I think most of the music I've listened to, Spice Girls, when I was growing up, they were just
Right.
totally unstoppable.
That's
And
right.
yeah, they are. I think there are certain musicians who are just like a perfect role model and someone who you want to listen to, and then you want to get into, and then if you get into music like yourself, that's even uh, uh, better. I did manage to, when I typed in your name on YouTube,
Yeah.
something came up. I think it was about 11 years ago, a video where I think you were auditioning for. I think it was. Is it Canada's Got
Oh,
Talent?
Canada's Got Talent. That's right.
Yeah.
I
And
did audition for that. I did like an online
yeah,
audition, and then I did an in-person audition. But yes, so you probably saw the online one on YouTube.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, 11 years ago. Oh, that's crazy.
No, I did, because when I was checking your YouTube channel, and then it came up, like when you posted 11 years ago, you posted it, and you were doing the audition and stuff. I thought, wow, you were so brave to even audition for that, and it is such a brave thing to do, to at that such a young age to do that and say, okay, I'm going to try to get
Why
into.
not? Why not? I always had, well, thank you, first of all, for saying that. I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
that's so neat that you came across that video. Yes, like I said, I think, I remember being quite young, and I made a promise to myself that no matter how nervous I get, at the thought of pursuing singing or getting on stage or going for it, I would always pursue it because it is something that really, really does make me very happy. It is my happy place, as I've said. It's like my second home, being performing or on stage. But yeah, the Canada's Got Talent audition. I remember my mum very much encouraged me. She's always, both my parents and my brother always encouraged me a lot. Whenever there's an audition, just to go for it. You just never know. I think it's very important for artists, no matter where you are in the world and what your genre of music is, you should always just go for these opportunities, as long as you, obviously within reason, do what feels right for you. But you just never know what can come from it. I'm very glad that I tried out. I didn't get to go forward, on the show, and that's okay because I still managed to, get a little bit of exposure to my singing. And it was really neat that they did an online audition for that. And I got quite a lot of lovely supportive comments. And I also, I think it was a few years later that I ended up doing an in-person audition for Canada's Got Talent too. So I think at that time I traveled to Edmonton with my mum, which is
Wow.
a city just next to Calgary. So I'm in Calgary, and it's about 2-3 hours away from Calgary. And yeah, I went with my mum and my dad, and I was all ready in my little red and white dress, and I did an in-person audition. And I did that, I think, once more. I think they came again to Calgary, and again, it's not until you do these auditions that you realize, hey, even though nothing came of it, I really do love performing. I really do want to pursue this. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great thing to do, at that young age. Like you said, you got the experience, and then that, like you said, and that obviously helps uh, an artist to grow, doesn't it? Really, and
Absolutely. It helps your confidence tremendously because when I first started auditioning, and I still get very nervous, um, it's a part of it, but you learn how to manage that better and you learn to become more in touch with, you know, just your how to manage your nerves and stage fright. I've been through that before, and um, but it does really help you to grow as an artist, like you said, and grow your confidence, and then you can just kind of move on, and that's part of it. Rejection is part of being an artist. You're not going to get every audition, but as long as you keep trying, that's the most important thing, I think.
is it hard if you don't get through to an audition, or do you take it? Would you take it personally, or would you say, okay, it doesn't matter, I tried, move on?
I think it's very hard not to take it personally, if I'm being honest. I would be lying if I said, "Oh no, I don't take it personally." Of course, you take it personally because it's your art. When
Yeah,
you sing on stage and when you're exposing that very private part of yourself, it's your voice. It's coming
yeah.
from within. It's very difficult to not have a personal connection to that because it's like exposing a very very private part of you. Um, so of course you want to get through to the audition, but I think just with the support of my family and my friends and them reminding me that you don't have to take it so personally. Sometimes you walk into an audition and it really isn't meant to be personal because they just maybe have an idea, a preconceived notion of what they're looking for. And I've always believed that the right opportunity is out there and it will find you. So I've had to, kind of change my mind set a little bit along the way. And that always helps just to stay positive. So, yes, as I've gotten a bit older now, I can say, yeah, I tried it. It was an experience and I learned from it. How can I make my next audition better? And then you learn and you grow that way.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I mean, it can only help, like you said, absolutely. It can only help you as an artist, and obviously as a songwriter. So all this, the music you've released so far, you've written this music yourself.
Yes. So all the songs that I've done, they've all been self-written. So I started off with Catch Me. So Catch Me was the first song I ever wrote. And I did that song with the station recording company in Calgary. Craig Nunes is how hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But I did that song with him, and then I went on to do another song called Sweet Time. And these were, I mean, these are quite a few years ago now. Um, and, I went through some experiences where I tried to work with producers before and get comfy with my songwriting. And sometimes you meet producers that are just not a good fit for you and you just don't gel. And I already kind of went through that. And then
Yeah.
after an experience like that, I kind of felt a little bit defeated, because I tried to work with a producer some time back, quite a few years ago now, and it just wasn't gelling. You know, it just wasn't working. And so I went back to the drawing board and I locked myself in my room and I just would practice songwriting to different beats that I would find on YouTube just to get that writing practice. Um, and then that's when I started getting the idea for Ride High, which was a song that was my third uh, song that I had professionally recorded. I recorded that one in Calgary. That one, I actually did end up meeting the producer at a friend's wedding, so a childhood friend's wedding. And that was very neat. That was in Vancouver. So that was
Yeah.
DJ Slam, also known as Hussein Aladina, who is part of GPS Music. Very talented producer from Vancouver in Canada. And yeah, so we just collabed and I wrote Right High that one evening. And yeah, I've kind of gone on to write some more songs after that. So that just really got that passion going for that.
Yeah. That must have been a nice collaboration with him because I can see when you mentioned it on the website and then if you type his name in Google on YouTube,
Yeah.
he gets a lot of views and a lot of people checking his YouTube channel out. So he's a quite a big thing, isn't he? Really?
He's very talented. I think he's
Mm,
one of those artists that deserves way more attention because he is
yeah,
extremely talented. Every time I check out his Instagram, he's always doing something new. He's very innovative in that way, and yeah, I really did enjoy working with him. I think not only did I really have a good experience working with Craig on Sweet Time and Catch Me. But then once I was a little bit older and I had a little bit um, more of a story to share or things to talk about, I really did enjoy that process with DJ Aslam because he just gave me that free reign to just do my thing. And he's like, I know I have this idea, and he just literally gave me the idea of Ride High. And I was like, okay. He gave me those two words, and I heard the melody of the song. And that's when that song idea came to me. And like I said, I wrote that song that evening. And then it was the next day that I went into the studio to record it. And I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I knew that I really enjoyed the beat and everything, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised how it did turn out. And it is still today one of my favorite songs that I've ever done.
yeah. So your debut single that would be "Ride High." Is that the debut one?
The one, yes, that's right.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Oh yeah, that's the one which I've listened to. Uh, and yeah, so when did you actually? How long did it actually take you to actually write this first single and bring it out and did you have to show it to someone to get it released or how did it come about this single?
Yeah, so like I said, I met Hussein Aladina, or DJ Islam, as he likes
Yeah,
to be called, in Vancouver. We got chatting about music, and a few weeks later he said, look, I have this song idea, let's work together. So that same day he sent me the track. He had this instrumental that he had produced, and I really was feeling it. And it inspired me so much that I actually did write Ride High, the lyrics, that very evening. It took me
Wow.
maybe, I don't know, it took me a very short period of time because it was done that evening. Um, and I quickly got back to him. I probably wrote them in like maybe an hour or so. And then I got back to him with the idea, and he's like, I really like this. So he's like, yeah, just whenever you can, get into the studio and get it going. So I just wanted to keep that momentum going. So I went straight into a studio that I found. It was recorded at Art Studio, which is a South Asian run recording studio in Calgary. And they did an awesome job. I got to record there, um, and then yeah, the next day, literally within no time, they had all the tracks sent back to him. So that song, it took maybe a very short period of time. Within like a week or two, it was already ready to go. And then as for the getting it released and all of that, we're very lucky now that we live in a day and age. We have a little bit more control over how we can, as independent artists, we can expose our music and just get it out there. So um, DJ ASAM did actually release an album of their own for GPS Music. So that track was on there. And then around the same time, I decided to release Ride High, and I just did it independently. And I did that through a distribution service. And yeah, it was a very easy process, actually. It wasn't so bad. And so now it's on iTunes and Spotify. And then shortly after that, I got to open up with that song for Imran Khan, who is an artist that I looked up to for
Wow.
many years. So that was really fun. I got asked to be an opening act for his show in Calgary. That was a one-off performance that I did. It was really fun, great crowd, and if you go on YouTube, you can actually watch that performance because it was quite something. The audience was quite a wild crowd, but it was really fun. I'll never forget it. And I
Wow.
see that you've got the purchase link. Thank you so much for putting that up there. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So do and you obviously watching this afterwards, do check it out on the iTunes. Also, if you do if you're on Spotify, you can get it on Spotify as well, on all the good places as well. I'm sure it'll be available on Google Music, Amazon Music, all the good places. It'll be available. So do check it out on there, and it is one to check out. So I can see obviously there is going to be an announcement very soon regarding your first EP. Yeah.
Yes, that EP, Escape. I've been trying to get that EP out for quite a while now, and it just seems, because I'm also studying at the moment too.
Ah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So education is very important to me. I've been doing a 4-year program. I can't talk too much about that, unfortunately, but it is within the manual therapy background. But
Yeah.
yeah, so finally, as soon as fingers crossed, I'm done with school, I plan to get that EP out in 2024. And, I'm still kind of planning out, do I want to bring out my older music that I've written and recorded? Do I want to do brand new songs? But I think I'm probably going to do a nice mixture of that. And I do have a new song that I've been working on with a very talented producer from US as well, which I
Wow.
want to mention. Her name is Jessica Taylor. She's a very talented producer and singer-songwriter. So that's something that's also in the works at the moment. So maybe that'll be on there. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. When it does come, I'm sure we will mention it on the podcast. We'll do a special on it. and mention it to everyone, because yeah, absolutely, it's a very exciting stuff there. So how many singles have you released so far then?
I've only officially, believe it or not, and this
Hmm.
is kind of funny to say, I've only officially released Ride High because I was in the process of going back to school and just getting my further education. Um, but I do want to, I do have plans to release absolutely like more music and kind of get that going before I officially release my EP. But yeah, Ride High is like the first one. But who knows? Maybe after this podcast, maybe it'll give me that push to get a little bit more music officially out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, obviously studying, that does take a lot of time studying, definitely, and then obviously you need time to obviously write, get the new music out, and EP is a big thing, isn't it? Really, it's a massive thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I mean, with that being said, like, even though I don't have at the moment um, more songs on my iTunes, which will be definitely coming in the future, I'm always putting out like new cover songs and new stuff on my YouTube. So you can always go on my YouTube at Sangeeta Melody, and I'm always trying out new songs and things there as well, in case people wanna do that as well.
yeah, because you did. I'm sure I saw a few. Like, was it Forever I'm Down? Um, that's one. That's
Yes,
There is that one. You did a cover on Alicia Keys as well, the famous Alicia Keys as well.
I
Uh,
did. I did Falling by Alicia Keys. I've always loved Alicia.
oh yeah,
Song that I
absolutely.
had wanted to
Definitely.
do for a long time. I did that
Wow.
a while ago. And then, yes, Forever I'm Down was actually one of four songs that I ended up getting. I wrote that song and I had that produced with a team. So Renato and Wayne Brown, they are two duo, you could say, very talented artists and producers in Canada. And I got to work with them, and we did four songs together: Forever I'm Down, True Story, Heart Under Attack, and then um, there's another song that's on there. And if you want to go and listen to some snippets of that, there is a video on my YouTube called My Music Journey So Far. And that kind of has a little bit of snippets of all the music that I've done over the years.
So are these like covers, or what kind of music are these? Which you
So
did?
these are all my original songs. So
Okay.
Forever I'm Down, True
Yeah.
Story, Heart Under Attack, and then there's one more song that I did, which for some reason is slipping my mind at the moment. But I did four with them, and those are all self-written. So again, a fantastic team to work with. Unfortunately, Renato, one of the producers, he passed away a few months ago.
Oh
But
no.
um, I will say that, yeah, he was one of those people that I'm very thankful for, because he was one of those rare people that he saw something in me and he really encouraged it. He really encouraged me to get into the studio and work with them, and I'm very glad that I did, because um,
Mm.
we ended up working on some really fun music together, and he was the guy who produced those fantastic, very catchy songs. So
Yeah.
um,
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is absolutely great. So do check it out on Sangeeta Melodies YouTube channel, and the links are, I'm sure they're on your website as well. The links, I think, are there for you.
yes, if you go on my website, sangeeta.ca, you can find my music, and my links to my social media are all on there as well. And if you just happen to be on YouTube, you can always just type in my name, Sangeeta Melody, and everything should pop up there with extra links on the main screen as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it does come up, yeah, because when I typed in Sangeeta Melody, it came up straight away. There are lots of videos,
Great.
Lots of
Lots of videos over the years.
lots of videos, cover versions, like you said, and there's so many. Obviously, I'm not had the chance to listen to them yet, but there's so many, and do check it out. Get onto the website sangeeta.ca. And obviously the YouTube channel. There's lots of videos there. I mean, you can see you've kept it up to date, and lots of music there. And so you wrote your first. Obviously, that's your debut single, which
Mhm.
you wrote that quickly. When you said you wrote it, the same day, I was totally surprised. I'm like, I thought you were going to say like a few months or something.
Yeah.
And like when I speak to most artists, like country music artists and stuff, and they say, okay, I was writing the single for about 4 months or 5 months and stuff, and you said, oh, okay, I finished in about a couple of hours. I'm like, wow, uh,
Yeah. I
wow,
know.
that's incredible. It is incredible, that is, yeah.
Thank
And
you. I think the benefit of that song is also because it's an EDM song. So um, I think I was just, I listened to that beat over and over again. I was super inspired. And yeah, I don't know. Even I look back and I'm like, how did I do that? Because songwriting, it's such an interesting thing because sometimes you just get that inspiration right away and you just have to go where it takes you and just kind of go with your instinct. That was very much one of those songs. And prior to Ride High, I think because I had been through a bit of an experience that wasn't so pleasant from working with another producer, where I did feel kind of very stifled artistically. I didn't feel comfortable writing with that particular person. And then it just kind of gave me that further motivation once I met DJ Asam to really just, like, yes, can I do this? Yes, I can do this. I was really determined. And I think because of that attitude, luckily I was able to pen that song pretty fast. And I was quite excited. And once I just got into the flow of it, yeah. And that song, Right High, it's really inspired by the feeling of having met someone that you want to be with for a very long time. And it's about adrenaline, the adrenaline rush that you feel when you're with them. And you don't want that feeling to end. And so I think, I do have quite the imagination. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take that in that direction. And yeah, so that kind of inspired me for that song as well. And when inspiration hits you, you got to just let it go. You got to go with that.
yeah, there are other stuff which you do, but I don't think we're gonna have time to speak about that. Obviously, but I think we'll have to do a special on that, to be honest. Because you do so much stuff, and it would be very unfair to cover it here. Cover it for about 2 minutes. I think that'd be very, very unfair on yourself to do that. I think we'll have to do a special on that, to be honest, to tell people more about that, what you do and how you help people in singing. So I think we'll have to do that so people get that understanding about what you do and stuff. Yeah, and
I appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
I
And,
do a
and
lot
sorry, yeah,
of I do a lot of things. Yes, just to
you
give
do
people
lots of things.
a little bit of
You,
a breakdown. It's the singing, the songwriting, the dancing, acting. I love to help people learn to sing, and then I also love to do love letters. So, maybe it'll
lots of stuff.
be a little bit of a tease. They can check that out
Yeah,
themselves.
definitely, definitely, yeah, absolutely. You do a lot of stuff, and yeah, and which is amazing, considering But also, when you released your single and stuff, did you get time to do any music tours in Canada or any other places?
No, I think
No.
I think I really, really need to keep pursuing my music more. I'm not at that level where I want to be yet with my music in terms of exposure. I think for me, it's very important to just give it more time to really build like a music tour is a huge thing. So
It
hopefully
is.
one day I can do that. But yeah, thank you. I think for that, you really need to, uh, just build like a proper team behind you.
Proper team, yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, yeah. That's true
Hopefully
actually, because
one day.
yeah, the artists who I've spoken to, they've said the same thing, that they've had like a proper team of people
Yeah,
who help them, book the venues, and stuff in the UK or in the US or wherever they are, Nashville or anywhere. So I think you do need that, like you said, absolutely, to make sure everything goes smoothly. Uh,
absolutely. It's a big,
uh,
big undertaking, but I do hope that, in my lifetime, I hope that I get to experience a music tour because that would be great. And once I get my
Oh,
EP
you definitely will. I think 100% you will do.
out,
Definitely the way you already release the music, and the way the music is and stuff, so
I
the
appreciate
way
it
you've done it,
much.
um,
Um,
I think
I
it will
have
happen
to ask you, what is your favorite song, Raj, of mine? Because you were telling me that you were listening to one, and I have to ask you.
soon. It has to be the music which I've listened to, because I'm being honest here. I should have listened to more of your music, but which
Okay,
I'm gonna do after this.
no
But
worries.
Um, I would say it would be I think it was a debut single which is on your website,
Right.
uh, Riding High. So
Okay.
I like the music, the way you sang it, and
Okay.
the music as well, because I'm not one who just listen to just one genre of music or one artist.
Yeah.
I like listen to more artists, newer artists as well, because obviously you're spotting them as well.
Yes.
So I like listening to more artists, and obviously, and it's the first time I've been able to listen to, as they say, from my own origin, like an Indian South, I've been able to listen to, so which
No,
has been great as well.
that's
Uh, so yeah, absolutely, it has to be uh, one of the music I'll say is definitely going to come on my playlist
aw,
very soon.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And
Uh,
yeah, it means a lot to me. And yeah, so I think one of my next goals is to do an actual music video for Ride High because I wanted one of my goals is that I wanted to really get that song more exposed to before I invest in the music video and things like touring. I mean that obviously costs a lot of money, and so you want to really make sure that you have a really solid fan base before you do something like that. And I think what's really exciting now for 2024 is that slowly but surely it's growing. I'm getting a little bit more exposure to my singing. People are kind of starting to take notice. So that's really exciting for me. Um, and I'm getting back into performing, which is another really exciting thing. So, yes, hopefully, once, like I said, my EP is officially out and I can release more music, then that is my next goal. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And I very much appreciate your support as well, Raj. It means a lot to me. And to just come on here and talk about a little bit of my journey and my
yeah,
artistry, it really does mean a lot to me. So, yes, much, much
yeah.
appreciated.
No, that's fine. No worries. And also, yeah, definitely, like I said, and we are going to, we will break it. We will break it on the Woman Agenda when Sangeeta does release her album. You will hear it. We will mention it definitely. We are going to mention it. Uh, uh, Obviously, mention it and do like a special video on that, and also mention it on the Woman Agenda Podcast.com. We'll mention it on there as well. Uh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you said, absolutely. So yeah, probably best to obviously, like you said, tour around Canada when you get the time, and then after that, probably other places, isn't it? Really, after that, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think with that you just have to kind of start within your own city. So maybe that's something that I can work on within the next little while once I'm done school. And then
yeah,
that's
exactly.
one of
Yeah,
my goals because really, I'm, as long as I get to help people, so that you've got that school side of things, um, and that, kind of health side of things, which I'm also very passionate about. But as long as I get to keep singing, keep pursuing music, and getting back into performing around my city to start with, which would be great. And then you just never know where it can grow from there. So, yeah, I think as long as I get to keep pursuing that for the rest of my life, hopefully we'll get some really neat opportunities that come out of it.
Yeah, and so was your family always aware that you're going to get into singing? Were they always aware of your parents? Were they?
I think because I started singing when I was 10, and then they knew, like, I was always kind of singing and dancing around the house, and my mum would go and be like, "Oh, go and get the camera. She's dancing, she's singing quickly." Because I was a bit of a shy kid, to be honest. Kids go through funny phases. You feel shy one minute, and then you want to, be a little bit more extroverted. And so I went through those shy phases. So I think it was always, however, from my parents' perspective, yes, I think if you were to ask them, I'm sure that they would say, yes, she's always been singing. And yeah, my parents very much from a very young age have known that I've always had that passion, that whether it's performing arts, even I've always been a big lover of anything creative. Even at school, I would love to do my dance classes and my art, like actual drawing and stuff like that. And so they knew, they had an inkling that I was very geared towards the arts overall. And then, like I said, like the age of 10 onwards is when I really, really got into it. And they realized, okay, she's really serious about this. She's not letting this passion
Yeah.
die, which is great. I'm very lucky because I have very supportive parents. Not your typical South Asian parents that say, okay,
Yeah.
Beta, you have to be a doctor, dentist, lawyer. Thank God, because yes, getting educated is very important, but they know that at the end of the day, this makes me very happy. And they've always, always encouraged me, again, just to go for it and pursue what I feel happy doing. And so I feel very, very lucky about that. Yeah, have
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely. Absolutely. See, it is nice to have the family backing and the family support on there. So do check Sangeeta's website out. All the music links are on the website, and you can listen to her debut single. And if you want to listen to more music, which I'm sure you all would like to, uh, get on to type in Sangeeta Melody. You can type in, it comes up straight away, to be honest. I've done it, it comes up straight away.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so
And,
much.
and you'll be able to listen to her latest music, cover versions, and everything, and all sorts of stuff, and on there. And so, yeah, absolutely, it is. Lots of stuff on there, yeah, and yeah, and I can't believe we've been chatting for such a long time already. This is unbelievable. But
Yeah, I
but
know.
yeah, and yeah, absolutely. So do check it out, Sangeeta.ca. And anything else you like to add on the Sangeeta?
I think I just want to thank you so much for your time, Rajesh. It really, again, means a lot to me. Thank you so much. It's been a really fun time chatting to you. I can't believe so much time has already passed.
I know.
Probably talk to you for another hour if I had
Uh,
the means, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would speak to you for another hour myself, to be honest. But then I think when we post it, I'll probably get a lot of complaints saying it's you've dragged it, you dragged.
um,
But the thing is, yeah, but we are. But in the new year, I am 100% sure we will bring you back on. And also, like I said, I do want to mention, but I don't want to mention. Like, you gave a tease, but I don't want to mention it because I think it'd be unfair to just mention this, just to push something in, just for the sake of it. It wouldn't be right. I think
I
we do need
appreciate
to do it. We do need to do a special on that to tell people what you do and how you help people in there. So we will do a special on that in the new year for sure.
that.
Uh,
I
um,
appreciate
on,
that.
on that definitely on there. So I'm sure it's still bright and early in Canada.
Yes, we're just coming up to about noon, just 5 minutes away from noon here. So
Yeah,
it must be evening over there in the UK.
yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. It is getting. It's getting near 7 o'clock now. Yeah. Uh, Definitely. And yeah, just 1 second. Okay, so like we were just mentioning, do check out the website sangeeta.ca for her music, and stay tuned for her first EP, which is coming out in 24. And like I said, we are going to mention it on the Woman Agenda podcast.com, as well as the YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that, and our social media as well. Do click on the like button and do subscribe, but also do remember to obviously tell us what you think, and do get in touch with Sangeeta on her social media and tell her after you listen to music what do you think, and give her your thingy, your love to her on her music. On there, Sangeeta, anything else you'd like to add on your to the fans and to everyone?
Thank you so much, Rajesh. I really, really appreciate your time today. Thank you again very much for having me. It was great fun. And I just want to thank all the viewers, all the listeners, you guys. I'm very, very excited for you to hear my music. So if you do happen to do that and be one of those people, then I am very thankful for you. I hope you all have a fantastic, happy new year. And may your 2024 be very blessed and full of lots of love and light and luck and lots of joy. And